all of this, and we may find, who knows what we're going to find. But the way that they're freaking out about Barr and trying to do this, word salad and Olympics over the word spying, I think goes to show you how, this obviously has struck a nerve. Tom Fitton is president of Judicial Watch, and I believe we have him now. Tom, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, Danny, thanks for having me.
Of course. So, tell me, because I know that you guys have done such great work in uncovering so much with the FOIA request and looking into this cover up. I wanted to get your reaction to the way that Bill Barr and what he said yesterday with regards to, well, yes, clearly the campaign was spied upon. The hysterical reaction from some of the typical people in media. To me, I think they're being forced to finally talk about what really happened. Everything that they were accusing Trump of is what this party was actually engaged in, what the Democrat nominee was engaged in.
I'm metaphorically speechless. So I just don't know what to say in response to the silliness over him just really quite plainly speaking about the spy operation. The rational response is, well, we were justified in spying on people associated with the Trump campaign. We weren't really after President Trump himself or candidate Trump, but there were people around him that we were nervous about. So therefore, we used and exercised our authority to spy on him. Of course, they don't want to mention that. They kind of don't want to go there, in my view, because they knew there was no lawful reason for them to initiate a spy campaign on a presidential candidate. And so rather than just talk rationally about it and try to defend the indefensible, they're in this Alice in Wonderland head in the sand approach that we can't use the word spy. And in the end, though, this is and you kind of got at it, Dana, in your initial comment. This was an operation run by the Democratic Party apparatus, the Democratic National Committee, the Hillary Clinton campaign. Mm-hmm. And they knowingly, in my view, fed to the Justice Department and the FBI. And it was a circular operation in many ways. I call it a self-licking ice cream cone. They all knew it was false information, and they used it as a pretext to go after their political opponent. And that's why they're upset about Mr. Barr even mentioning what happened, and even more dangerously, being willing to ask questions about what happened.
Now, one of the things that Judicial Watch has done is filed a FOIA request, or a FOIA suit, actually, a lawsuit against the DOJ with regards to the planning and preparation raiding Roger Stone's house, because they acted like they were going to take El Chapo into custody. The guy doesn't even own a firearm, which I'm shocked and slightly disappointed about. But it's insane, the reaction to this. Tell me about this. And then I know also that there's questions as to CNN's communication, maybe with the DOJ, et cetera. Tell us about this suit.
We've got a few lawsuits on CNN. One about Brennan's communications with CNN and Clapper's communications with CNN about the dossier, which is one potentially illegal leak that CNN is complicit in. And then, of course, the leak, CNN says it was their own shoe leather reporting that led to them figuring out there was going to be a pre-dawn raid in Florida on Roger Stone. We suspect that there was a leak, and that's why we asked for the documents. And rather than get a straight yes or no, they've been playing games with us, which shows us, in my view, based on our experience, there may be something there they don't want us to know about, hence the federal lawsuit. But all of that illustrates the media complicity in this. This is not them chasing a conspiracy theory. These are folks that were working with the media, working with these deep state actors to launder illegal leaks into the public consciousness to target and undermine and overthrow the president.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how egregious is this? With the spying on the administration, the way that they were colluding, for them to actually use that word properly, colluding with media networks to go and raid the homes of individuals associated with the campaign. The stuff that they did to Carter Page, the stuff that they've done to Michael Flynn. Out of all of the scandals and controversies in American history, where does this rank?
Yeah, and I've thought carefully about that question. I can't think of anything comparable. We've had the IRS used in the past by administrations to target their political opponents. Johnson targeted Nixon, and Nixon targeted his opponents. But nothing as comprehensive at as massive a scale in the targeting of President Trump. And then subsequently, you have the Justice Department trying to justify wearing a wire on the president in the Oval Office and an attempt to remove him from office using the 25th Amendment improperly. There's simply nothing comparable. And of course, I'm not even talking modern American history. Certainly the founders and the politicians in the 19th century, the idea that they would even read their opponent's mail, let alone use the power of the government to spy on them, wasn't even on their radar screen.
Right. Oh, goodness. And we still have so much more to go in this. Tom Fitton with Judicial Watch, judicialwatch.org. Tom, always appreciate talking with you. Keep up the good work that you're doing. You're getting to the bottom of so much stuff, and I think shedding a lot of light on things. Thank you.
You're welcome.